Imagine a Sunday afternoon. You're on the couch, lost in your thoughts, while the world outside just stops. In this silence, you feel a familiar weight. Your cat jumps onto your lap, a silent, enigmatic roommate. The purring starts. It's rhythmic, vibrating against your skin like a tiny, warm engine of pure affection. You reach down. 1 stroke. 2. 3. It's a moment of perfect, unspoken connection between two species. But for an overthinker, perfection is always a precursor to a question. You wonder, is this real love? And then, the air in the room suddenly changes. The purring stops. The warmth evaporates into tension. Teeth meet skin. A sharp, sudden nip. It's not a kill bite, but it's enough to shatter the peace. You pull back. Your heart races. What did I do wrong, you ask the silence. Does he hate me? Welcome to the petting paradox. A psychological glitch in the matrix of domestic love. Today, we dive deep into the feline brain to decode the bite. Because it's not about aggression, it's about communication. Meet Mark. Mark is an overthinker. He doesn't just live his life, he audits it, second by second. When his boss says good job, Mark wonders if there was a hidden but at the end of that sentence. So, when his cat, Luna, bites him during a cuddle, Mark doesn't just feel a sting. He feels a rejection of his very soul. He enters a state of relationship crisis. He starts an internal audit. Did I buy the wrong food? Was I too loud yesterday? Am I a bad person? But while Mark is spiraling, Luna has already moved on. To her, the bite wasn't a betrayal. It was a period at the end of a sentence. To bridge this gap, we need to understand that sensory cup. Imagine every pet is a drop of water. 1 stroke, 1 drop. Another stroke, another drop. For a while, the cup feels half full. It feels good. But every cat has a different sized cup. Some are vast like oceans, others are tiny like a thimble. The problem is, we don't know when the cup is full until it starts to overflow. The bite is simply the overflow. It's the cat's way of saying, my cup is full. I cannot take any more data. To understand the overflow, we must look at the skin. A cat's body is a high-tech sensory field. Millions of nerve endings, designed to detect the flutter of a moth's wing miles away. When you pet a cat, you aren't just touching them. You are uploading massive amounts of data. In the beginning, this data is pleasure. It triggers a release of oxytocin, the love hormone. But feline neurology has a low threshold for overstimulation. The pleasure line is dangerously thin. Imagine you're at a concert. The first song is beautiful. You're feeling the beat, the connection. But then, someone turns the volume up to 110 decibels. The strobe lights become blinding. The music you loved a second ago is now causing you physical distress. You need it to stop. But a cat cannot say, turn it down. They have no words to negotiate their boundaries. So, they use the only physical OFF switch they have. The bite. The tragedy of Mark and Luna is a breakdown in communication. Mark thinks he's in a monologue of affection. But Luna has been screaming to stop for the last 3 minutes. You just didn't see the yellow lights. Signal 1, the tail whip. Not a happy dog wag, but a sharp, rhythmic thud against the sofa. This is the cat's internal anxiety meter hitting the red zone. It's a physical release of nervous energy. Signal 2, the ear rotation. When those ears shift back like satellite dishes looking for a new signal. They are no longer listening to your I love yous. They are scanning for an exit or a threat. Signal 3, the rippling skin. If you see the fur on their back twitching or rolling like a wave, it's literally crawling out of their skin. The sensory overload is now a physical discomfort. When we ignore these signs, we teach our cats that their subtle language doesn't work. We force them to be loud. So they move to the only language we do understand, the bite. the ultimate shutdown command. But wait, there's a twist. Not every bite is a stop sign. For an overthinker, this is the good news. There is a distinction. There is the boundary bite, and then there is the love bite. There is a phenomenon called the nipping affection. It's a behavior rooted in a cat's kittenhood. When a mother cat grooms her kittens, she uses small, controlled nips to clean them and show dominance and affection. If your cat gently takes your skin in their teeth, holds it for a second, and then licks you or stays leaning, congratulations! You've reached the inner circle. They aren't overstimulated, they are claiming you. They are saying, you are part of my pride. I am grooming you as my own. The difference is in the tension. A boundary bite is followed by the cat jumping away and looking tense. But a love bite is soft, followed by relaxation and proximity. The body language tells the whole story. For an overthinker, learning to distinguish between I'm overwhelmed and I'm claiming you is the key to domestic peace. So, how do we fix this toxic dynamic? It's simpler than we think, but it requires us to drop our ego. We need to stop viewing our pets as vessels for our own emotional needs and start seeing them as sovereign beings. Try the consent test. Reach out your hand, but, and this is crucial, don't touch them first. Let them make the final move. Let them rub their cheek against you to initiate the contact. If they turn away or stay still, respect the silence. They are saying, I love being near you, but I don't want to be touched right now. This turns the interaction from a petting session into a mutual negotiation. You are now partners, not just owner and pet. When you learn to stop before the bite, something magical happens. The cat begins to trust you more. The sessions actually last longer because the cat feels safe. They know they have a stop button that you will actually honor. For a cat, the ultimate proof of love isn't 1,000 strokes, it's the knowledge that you are listening. In a world that constantly demands more of us, perhaps we can learn something from our cats about boundaries. Maybe the deepest form of intimacy isn't constant touch, it's the quiet, respectful space we leave between each other. Mark doesn't overthink the bites anymore. He doesn't see them as a failure of love, but as a success of communication. He watches the tail. He listens to the silence. And Luna? She's never felt more understood. Because when we respect their boundaries, we create a world where they don't have to defend them. Whether it's a cat, a dog, or even another human, everyone needs to know they are being heard. So, next time you reach out, ask yourself, am I stroking an ego, or am I building a bridge? If you're an overthinker who loves animals, you're not alone. We're all just trying to learn the language of now. If this video helped you understand your tiny roommate a little better, consider subscribing to our journey. Because the best relationships aren't perfect. They're just listened to. Thanks for watching.